be blowing nose, let the smoke down. Inhaling, exhaling with no hands. I go to Asher, hit my gold chains. My eyes be Asian, but I'm so French. Roll up the sticky parrot with some sushi. Write verses on my phone and dish the loosely. I just light it up like Snoop and Lil Tunechi. Sip gin and juice, and now I'm chillin' loosely. Cause I love pot. All my homies know how to roll, call them dudes, and they grow my stack. I'm a grower and a shower, ask your girl, I bet she knows my spot. She like a green and we got it, you ain't got it, homie. Oh my God, oh my squad, but I love pot. All my homies know how to roll, call them dudes, and they grow my stack. I'm a grower and a shower, ask your girl, I bet she knows my spot. She like a green and we got it, you ain't got it, homie. Oh my God, oh my squad, yeah. I just want a baddie and a little mixture, like 50,000 likes on all the pictures. I want an ounce of butter, fifth of liquor, to take this broad into the fifth dimension. I mentioned a little birdie tweeted, we gon' hit this. So is this the butter? Her eye isn't listening. I wish that I could post an image while I hit that, but in fact, I don't want the world up in my business. Cause
Welcome back, baby. That's right. I know we didn't get TKO Tuesday, but we had to come ready with Hump Day on Wednesday. My apologies for not going live yesterday. Work took a little longer than we thought. Had to push everything to today. So don't worry. You will get your TKOs by the end of this here programming. If you don't already know, I'm the host of this here channel. My name's Gaff. I do this shit every day of the week that I'm not working. All right, I give you guys MMA and boxing tips, picks, parlays, tricks, you know, all that shit. And I'm back again, baby, because I got to present Hump Day. I got to present the grapplers. I got to go back to TKO Tuesday and present it on Hump Day. I got to show you guys all the TKOs. Okay, we got to predict things for UFC Seattle, for PFL Pittsburgh. All right. There's lots of things to do. You thought I was, y'all must have forgot. I'm still the guy that moves this combat sports fight sphere, okay? I'm out here, all right? If they don't cover it, I will. If they don't do it on their programming, I will here. And I have something very special coming for you guys, very special. Hopefully I can get it out by tomorrow. I don't think I will be able to. Maybe I'll drop it on the weekend. I plan to drop it on a Thursday. Maybe it'll give me another week to work on it, but something nice for us nerds out there coming soon. Coming very, very soon. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. What are you waiting for? All right, we're trying to get to 800. We're not too far away. We're like less than 2 score away, yo. Come on, baby. All right, so please subscribe to the channel. Scan that QR code right there. It'll subscribe you to the YouTube. All right, we're not too far away from 800. That was the goal. We could still hit it. Come on, baby. Let's get it. Don't forget, 1 more round fights everywhere as well. Don't forget to like the video below. If there's 3 people watching, I need at least 3 likes. I seen 5 in here. There might be 4 or 5 likes in there. Come on, guys. Let me get them likes. Get them up. I know we just started. but it's about to heat up in this piece. You guys already know I provide some fun stuff for the channel, right? Well, merch is out, baby. Don't forget the merch is out. The clubber, subber, dubber tees. Don't forget to get your merch at one-more-round-shop.myshopify.com, or you could just go to oftenspace.wixsite.com/one-more-round/merch. If you forget that merch on the end, it'll still take you to the right place. So oftenspace.wixsite.com/one-more-round. All right. So that's where you can get the merch. If you guys are so inclined to get the merch, it's kind of gorgeous. People love it. I mean, Cosmos is on the way. Daniels is on the way. Who else? Who else has some merch on the way? Christian L's merch is on the way. Luke's getting his soon. Manich just got his. Dakota's loving hers. The merch is looking good, people. Don't forget to follow on social because that's where we put out the parlays. That's where we put out everything. Okay. One more round fights, except for X, where it's one more round F8. Fuck you, Elon. Oh, you little bitch. Fuck you, Elon. I want you in a cage match, Elon. Me and you. 3 rounds, baby. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime. Come on, Elon. And don't forget to follow Main Carl Manning. You can catch me putting belt to ass on there. Ask my former opponents. You know who. You know who. They called L's, every single one of them. It is what it is. I'm out here getting dubbersons. Okay. Without further ado, let's get into it. I mean, we start Hump Day with a little combat sports news. That's what we've grown accustomed to doing, right? We just come out here, just, see the vibe, see what's going on. Nothing crazy that I've reported besides what I've already dropped this week. I know we have some Islam Makhachev news. I know he has a fight booked against the number 1 contender, and that could only leave us to believe one person. That leads us to believe that is Jack Della Maddalena, and I believe that fight is booked for July. I believe the month that was uttered. So it looks like we'll be seeing Islam Makhachev. He wasn't able to fight in June, but he's able to fight in July. A little weird, but whatever. He has accepted the number 1 contender bout, and the number 1 contender is Jack Della Maddalena. So in all actuality, we should be getting ourselves a rematch. These Ali guys love their rematches, don't they? I hate it. I hate me a rematch. Rematches suck so much ass. I fucking hate them so much. Sorry, let me rephrase. I hate immediate rematches so much. Other ones, it is what it is, but that immediate rematch when I'm just like, oh, wasn't that just very clear? Why are we doing this again? Some rich people get what rich people want sometimes, It is what it is. It is what it is. And there's plenty of other matchups around the board. I know we're about to hear an Ian Machado Gary rant somewhere if we haven't already. Oh, man. Social media is about to be unbearable for the next, when's July? 4 months? For the next 4 months. Oh, Lordy. You can bet your ass he'll probably be there, too. It's International Fight Week. He is an international fighter. He will be in the area at least during that month. Going to be interesting. Yeah, I'm welterweight is what it is now, We have a bunch of weight classes. We have a bunch of divisions. That seem to have a little bit of molasses in there. And it is what it is. That's what we're going to have to deal with. Yo, Cosmo Kramer throwing up the one more round emojis in the smokes. What up, bro? A lot of breaks says, hey, yo, what up? How you feeling? You know what time we started. You seen the time. You seen what time we let the puss out. I see you guys popping in right at the right time. You know. All right. But anyways, yeah. So not too many combat sports news, but honestly, I didn't want to waste too much time on combat sports news. I just wanted to go super big surface level, top level items. Sorry. We got to get into it because we have a full slate. We got to go over Hump Day, and then we got to get over the TKOs from TKO Tuesday. So first, guys, You guys know what we do on this programming. If you're not familiar what we do, what up, mommy? He says, yo, Gav. If you're not familiar what we do on this programming, on Hump Day, we go over the grapplers in MMA. Now, we're not doing your octagons. We're not doing your cage warriors, your lower promotions, okay? We're here doing UFC. We're here doing PFL. We're here doing one championship. We're doing Rising. Okay, you see where we're going with this. And we're not talking one fight nights. We're talking one numbered events, all right? The big boys. So that's what we do here. We take the best, most dominant grappling performances from all of these events, and we rank them from 1 to 10 on the year. And certain things go into this. Some certain like championship, if it's for a championship, if it's a main event, how dominant you were, if you got a finish, whether it be a TKO or a sub with your grappling, lots of things can happen. Lots of things can happen. Okay. And we do have a top 10 list. So, first, let's go over our top 10 grapplers this year of 2026. And it starts as follows after UFC Vegas 114. It was Mario Bautista in the number 1 spot, defeating Vinicius Oliveira via rear naked choke, round 2, 4 minutes and 46 seconds. In the 2 spot, Usman Nurmagomedov defeating Alfie Davis via submission, round 3, 4 minutes and 41 seconds. In the 3 spot, Justin Gaethje with front headlock chokes on Paddy Pimblett, getting the unanimous decision. In the 4 spot, Mektabek Oralby defeating Chris Curtis with a score of takedowns. 5 spot, Benoit Saint-Denis defeating Dan Hooker via TKO punches, round 2, 4 minutes and 45 seconds. In the 6th spot, Bobby King Green using his grappling and unorthodox striking to defeat Daniel Zellhuber via TKO punches, round 2, 4 minutes and 55 seconds. In the 7th spot, Shoko Sato defeats John Sweeney via submission triangle. We saw the vicious knees, the ground and pound into the forced triangle, the turnover. Beautiful submission over in Ryzen. Round 1, 2 minutes and 44 seconds. In the 8th spot, Francis Marshall defeats Eric Silva via submission, rear naked choke, round 1, 2 minutes and 29 seconds. In the 9th spot, Raul Rosas Jr. nearly getting 20 takedowns on Rob Font, getting the win by unanimous decision. And in the 10th spot, Jacoby Smith defeats Josiah Harrell via KO, ground and pound, got the takedown, dominant control position, and finished him off. Some say this doesn't belong in the top 10. Will it stay in the top 10 after this week? We shall find out. Let's move on. We have 2 events to go over, guys. First, we have UFC London. There were a couple of grappling performances. First, it should be said, guys, there were no submission victories over both of the cards this weekend. Over UFC London and over PFL Madrid. 0 submission victories, all TKOs and decisions. Okay, so unfortunately for any submission props that anyone may have had, I can almost guarantee, unless it was paired with something else, it is dead. Okay, and yes, that means the suburb parlay did not cash. Neither did the double parlay. It is what it is. We move on, we push forward, and we keep the train going. Okay, but let's go over the UFC London grappling performances, shall we? There wasn't too many to talk about, and luckily this hump day is short, and we do have TKO Tuesday to add to it, so I will happily go over all the hump day events that happened. First, let's go with our main event. Movsar Evloev defeats Lerone Murphy via majority decision. 48-46, 48-46, 47-47. Now, if we're talking about dominance, if we're talking about somebody that put on a performance and should absolutely be considered joining our top 10 grapplers list, it's this performance by Movsar Evloev, people. Sorry, I didn't include the chat there. But look at these stats. Not only did he outstrike Lerone Murphy via, wait, am I reading that wrong? Sorry, via total strikes, not also significant strikes, but via total strikes. He went 9 for 10 on takedowns. And mind you, this 9 for 10 was only in the last 3 rounds of the fight. He averaged 3 takedowns a round. That is absolutely what won him the fight, because I gave the first 2 rounds to Lerone Murphy until he started implementing his grappling, which was, by the way, his bread and butter and what got him here. So I'm confused as to what took him so long. But Movsar Evloev took him down 9 times in 10 attempts over the course of rounds 3, 4, and 5. And absolutely used his grappling to win this fight. That was the reason he won this fight, without a shadow of doubt in my mind. Now, with that being said, he did use a lot of his grappling, but look, he used some striking too. Check out my boy. Check out my boy going hard in the paint against Lerone Murphy. Look at this. Look at this. Using his hands, standing in the pocket, but then he likes to mix it up too. Don't you forget. Movsar Evloev will get in on them hips and get you a takedown and get on you. Make you work to get back up. Sap that energy. Lace those legs up. Work the back. Some ground and pound from the side. Nice club of a fist there. Make you get back to your feet. Waste energy. And just as you get back up, you're going back down, buddy. You're going to have to do it all over again. And we repeat the cycle. Shout out to Movsar Evloev, using his grappling in an absolute dominant fashion to win him this fight, because without that tool that he used in rounds 3, 4, and 5, he loses the fight. He loses. If it continues how it was going in rounds 1 and 2, he absolutely loses that fight. Now, it was close. But that being said, if we're staying in that realm, Lerone Murphy gets more and more comfortable the longer it stays on the feet. So I was very happy to see that he got to his grappling game, because if you were on the main card minute stream, you probably heard me bitching for about 10 minutes until he finally got to his grappling. So shout out to Movsar Evloev. Shout out to being a top 10 grappler this week. We'll see where you rank in there, but you absolutely are going to be joining that list, brother. With a 9 for 10 performance, oh, you're in there. You're in there. That's a shoe-in performance right there. Now, let's take a look at another little tidbit of his. Look at these hands. Look at these hands by Movsar. Don't forget, he had some hands too. Look at this. At the end of round 3, he was laying it on Lerone Murphy. Look at him. Has him up against the fence, landing the better strike. Shovel uppercut even thrown in there. Like, what? Movsar Evloev showing his complete game and absolutely intriguing every single one of us for a matchup with Alexander Volkanovski. So can't wait to see when that happens. Going to be interesting. But another grappling performance we should talk about, not one that will wow anybody, blow their pants off, but Christian Leroy Duncan and Roman Dolidze had a little bit of a grappler's performance in the second half of this fight. It was a unanimous decision for Christian Leroy Duncan, 29-28 across the board, but it should be noted that Roman Dolidze went 3 for 4 on his takedowns in this fight, and his grappling was nearly what won him the fight. It was a very close round 1, I believe. Round 2 absolutely belonged to Christian Leroy Duncan, and round 3 absolutely belonged to Roman Dolidze. So it was the dealer's choice fight. Whoever you thought won the fight was who won the fight, and I don't think if either guy won, I would have been upset. It felt like a fight that either guy could have won for me. So let's check out some of the exchanges from this fight as well. Look at Dolidze dropping down for a little leg lock action. Oh, man. And then a spinning back fist. I think that connected. And got right back to his grappling. Made Christian Leroy Duncan apprehensive to get too close and fight from long range. I mean, shout out to Roman Dolidze. At first, people were hating on his performance, but by the end of it, I was like, yo, he didn't look too bad. I ain't mad at what he put out there. We also should talk about Mario Pinto's performance. He defeats Felipe Franco via unanimous decision, 29-28 across the board. He was 2 for 14 on takedowns. Oh, you don't believe me? You don't believe me that he was 2 for... Okay. No, I got you. I wouldn't believe me either, because that sounds like some heinous heavyweight bullshit, right? But if we slide over to the prelims and go down to this fight, you can see right there for yourself. Feast your eyes. 14%, 2 for 14. My man Mario Pinto heavily leaned on his grappling to defeat Felipe Franco, because Felipe Franco had some finishes on his record. So I guess Mario Pinto's strategy here was to not lose and to use all of his tools to his advantage. And he spammed takedowns, ended up getting 2 of them. but a lot of this fight was fought up against the fence with clinch strikes. So that's a majority of the total strikes that you see there, and that's why the significant strikes are so low for both gentlemen, especially at heavyweight. But shout out to him. He used his grappling to get himself a win, and it must be talked about. Not a performance that's going to crack anybody's top 10, but one that should be mentioned in terms of UFC London. Now, last but not least on this card, we got to talk about our man Mantas. Mantas Contra the Vicious defeats Antonio Tricoli via unanimous decision 30-27, 29-27, 29-27. Brother was 2 for 4 on takedowns, and he needed those takedowns because Tricoli was 1 for 12 on his own. All right, this turned into a grappling performance. We all thought this was going to be a KO, and these guys were like, nah, we're going to turn this to a grappler's delight. Grappler's delight, baby. Go ahead and check this out. Same thing on the prelims. I believe this was the fight before. It might have inspired Mario Pinto, low-key. You see it right there. 2 for 4 is Contra the Vicious, and Tricoli 1 for 12, dude. Yeah, lots of takedowns attempted, especially in the second half of this fight. Contra the Vicious was putting hands on Tricoli. I believe he even dropped him at one point in this fight. Actually, I know he dropped him. Go ahead and take a look at this. Oh, yeah, look at this exchange between these boys. Look at that elbow. No, with lack of a better term, he was falling like the towers right there. Holy boom, straight down. Holy wowzers. Oh, look at that. Straight elbow right above the ear, destroys his equilibrium. Flash drop, not a knockout, but made Contra Vicious another highlight to add to his beautiful little reel there. So shout out to Mantas Contra the Vicious. Huge little elbow over Antonio Tricoli. And let's take a look at this too, because that's not the only thing that was happening in this fight, guys. Check out this. I mean, Contra Vicious was trying to finish everything. He's pointing down at the ground, getting Tricoli to walk towards him. Tricoli just walking backwards, trying to get away from the fight, jabbing his way away. Finally throws a right hand, and then Contra Vicious tries to wing them rights, but keeps calling for him to come in. He did everything he could to win this fight, and then Tricoli, one of his 11 missed takedowns. Maybe they counted that as one of Contra Vicious's takedowns, but those were all the grappling performances from UFC London that I wanted to mention, all the ones that should be mentioned, because grappling played a large part in these people's wins and or losses. Okay. If you're wondering who won those bonuses, nobody with a grappling performance, but there was some Mason Jones and Axel Sola had a fight of the night. Axel Sola actually had a few takedowns in his fight. He had a solid grappling performance, but it ended up in a loss for him, and it never looked like he was going to win the fight in the first place. And the other 2 performance of the night bonuses went to Iwo Barianuski and Chanel Dyer for their TKOs. $100K for every one of them. But yeah, that's not the only grappling performances that happened over the weekend, gang. We got to talk about PFL Madrid. Hey, there wasn't a lot of them. Like I said, no submissions on the entire card, but there was some grappling performances that caught my eye. Did they not? Now, for those that don't know, fuck me. For those that don't know, the site that I like to use for getting my PFL stats is SofaScore. So we're going to use SofaScore to check out the stats on these fights. But for the PFL Madrid, keep in mind, Costello Van Steenis defeats Fabian Edwards via KO elbows, 1 minute and 48 seconds of round 3. Edwards was 1 for 4 on his takedowns in this fight. And that was his demise, because Costello Van Steenis would end up using one of his takedowns against him. Ouchies. I mean, oof. How you're Fabian, you were facing a grappler and you were the striker, and it was a close fight last time. Why did we get to our grappling? I don't think I'll ever know. But if you go ahead and look at the stats of this fight, you can see down below. I'll switch it to X first Y so you could see. You can see takedowns right there in the grappling department. 0 for 1 from Costello Van Steenis. Good takedown defense from Fabian Edwards. But the takedown that he got was early in the fight, then kept attempting takedowns. And that fourth takedown that you see right there, that was the one that ended the fight. And you may be confused as to why I say that. Oh, allow me to show you if you didn't see for yourself. Fabian Edwards drops down to his knees for a takedown. And this is what seems to happen to people that do that in MMA. Travis Brown knows. Many others know. Apparently, Fabian Edwards has never seen this before, but Gadoosh. Right behind the ear, my guy is out. Costello Van Steenis is the PFL middleweight champion. Yeah. Yepers. Let me show you a little closer. Allow me to show you a little closer. If you didn't see the highlight. Oh, they don't. This isn't the one with it. All right. Well, yeah. Look at that. Oh. And there he goes. And there he goes. And that was the end of the fight. That was the end of the fight, as you can imagine, because he was pretty much unconscious up against his leg there. Now, here's another angle for anybody wanting to see it. Oh, yeah. Oh, you could see his body jump like 7 to 9 times from those elbows. He was definitely completely out. Absolutely. Look at it again from a closer range. The telestrator with the dynamics here. Look at that. Boom. All that force going inwards towards his head. His head is trapped against the hip of Van Steenis. So his head absorbs every single bit of that force, and it gyrates through the rest of his body, forcing the referee to call a halt to this bout. And that was one of the grappling performances that we had to mention on PFL Madrid. And he kicks the mouthpiece at the end of that. Oh, what a freaking launch. What a launch. We should also talk about AJ McKee not using his grappling till the very end of this fight to defeat Adam Boric via unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. He went 1 for 6 on those takedowns, but those takedown attempts are what was enough to keep Adam Boric off of him and keep him in the fight. So I just wanted to mention my guy, AJ McKee. He said he wasn't going to get to his grappling early, but he ended up using it, and as he should, because it's one of the best features of his game. Shout out to my guy, AJ the Mercenary McKee. Another fight we need to talk about at welterweight, Franco Tenaglia defeats Yassine Aji via TKO injury. 5 minutes of round 2. Keep in mind, Tenaglia 1 for 1 and his opponent 2 for 2 on takedowns. This was largely playing out in the grappling department, and the older gentleman was winning this fight. If not for his feeble 41-year-old body breaking down on him, he probably would have used his grappling to defeat Franco Tenaglia. But Franco Tenaglia gets the TKO win due to injury. Okay. And the only one that we're going to show besides the main event is at heavyweight. It was a grappling performance from, you guessed it, Linton Vassell. He defeats Jose Augusto via TKO punches, 2 minutes and 48 seconds of round 2. Let's go ahead and check out these stats as well, shall we? I mean, come on. Come on. We got to do it, right? SofaScore. Bring it in, baby. Bring it in. Let's go down to Linton Vassell. It started off the main card. Okay, so you go ahead and click that one there. SofaScore isn't the best on browsers. If I would suggest you use it on the app, which is where I like to use it best. Okay, very smooth on the app. The browser a little slow. But here you go. 1 for 1 on his takedowns. That's all he needed. You could see his control time there, 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Right? Of 2 minutes and 29 seconds on the ground. 3 seconds of that control time went to Jose Augusto. Okay, yeah, I guess there was like maybe a 50-50 position or something like that. But yes, so you could see largely in the grappling department, Linton Vassell obviously dominated this fight. And if you didn't see how it went, allow me to show you. Oh, how it went, baby. How it went. Linton Vassell, we were looking for the sub, but he ends up pounding him out for the ground and pound. He did attempt the arm triangle choke multiple times. Jose Augusto just seemed to find his way out of it. I guess his Brazilian spirit wouldn't let him get subbed, but Linton Vassell gets the dominant TKO win as he beats on his chest and possibly sets himself up for a heavyweight championship bout against Vadim Nemkov. Surprisingly, they never fought at light heavyweight or heavyweight. So, yeah, I'd love to see those guys go at it. Hopefully that performance was enough to make him get it, but it is what it is. And the last performance we'll talk about was at featherweight. Nacho Campos defeats Mathis Sturgren via unanimous decision, 29-28 across the board. He went 4 for 11 on his takedowns, Mathis Sturgren, and still lost the fight. So that just goes to show you how little grappling is valued in MMA at current time. There was a time where it was heavily valued, where just control time is enough to win you the fight. These days, damage and striking is, I would go as far as to say, almost 67% of the fight to them. Grappling just seems to be minimized these days, and I wanted to make that a point to tell you guys about that fight, because 4 for 11 on your takedowns, lots of control time, and still losing the fight. That's yeah, it is what it is. That just goes to show you. But those are all the performances from PFL Madrid, and those are all the performances I have for you for Hump Day. So guess what? Since we have all those performances, what do we have to do now? We have to see if any of these performances qualify for our top 10 grapplers of the year, and I think only one of them made this list. Bitch, you guessed it. Shout out to Mavsar Evloev, cracking the top 10. You see him at the bottom, knocking off Josiah Harrell and Jacoby Smith. Okay, it is now Mavsar Evloev in the 10 spot. The reason it's not higher, it's because it wasn't that dominant of a finish of a performance. It was won by majority decision. On some cards, people had it a Lerone Murphy fight, some people had it a draw, and some people had it a Mavsar Evloev decision. For that reason alone, I couldn't have it above a lot of these finishes and a lot of these dominant unanimous decision performances. So in the 10 spot, it felt right for me to drop it in there. And when you go 9 for 10 on your takedowns in 3 rounds, I think you deserve to join the top 10 grapplers of 2026. I believe you deserve to be in that list. So those are the top 10 of this year. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree. Let me know if you disagree, if there's any performances that you think deserve to be on the list that still haven't been shown. Also, let me know. Don't be afraid to tweet at me. All right. I'm one more round F8. You guys know what it is. All right. But yeah. So those are our top grapplers so far, which leads us to one thing, gang. What does that lead us to? Well, it's Hump Day. We went over the top 10 of the year. That must mean we have a card coming up, doesn't it? Yes, it does. It does mean we have a card coming up. And one of the cards coming up is PFL Pittsburgh. Not just like last week, I don't see a lot of submission performances on either of these cards. Actually, I kind of do on the UFC, but on this Pittsburgh card, I see very minimal submission grappling performances or grappling performances in general. See a lot of strikers. I see a lot of knockout setups. Okay. See a lot of decisions. So there's only one true grappler on this card that I need to highlight. If you don't already know, you're about to know, because this guy only does what he does. And I wish that their props come out early and we're able to take this, because last time in New York, we were unable to take this. But the guy that I'm talking about on the PFL Pittsburgh card is Frederick Duprat. Okay, the Canadian. Shout out to him. 9 wins. Every single one of those wins is by submission. That's right. You heard me right. Duprat, 9-2, all wins by sub, all losses by finish. 7 first-round submission wins. Okay. Goss is 11-8, 4 subs, 2 KOs. He has 4 sub losses, and 3 of them were in round 1. You heard me right, bitch. 3 of them were in round 1. This could happen early too, gang. We may not even have to wait for this shit. We might just be chilling, brother. We might just be chilling for the rest of this card. We might start off the card with a sub and be like, well, got that off real quick. What we got left, boss? It could be that easy. Now, let me see if I can look at the prelims on SofaScore. It looks like I can, so let's show you what I'm looking at. And let's go ahead and look at this Ethan Goss Frederick Duprat fight at featherweight. Clickies now. Go ahead. I clicked you. I clicked, gang. This is the third click now. This is the fourth click now. All right. Like I said, the browser not all that great. Let's see if I could click a different fight. Okay, so that fight, that fucking. All right. Well, that worked. Let's work for the other one. Huh? What is going on? Oh man. This thing is slowzers. All right, PFL. Come on. Come on. Damn, this thing is slow. Well, wow. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest going to the website. I would definitely go in the app. If I were you. If I were you, I'd definitely go to the app, dude. Because what the fuck is going on? I'm trying to click this thing. This is a second machine, too. It's not like slowing down the actual stream I'm streaming on. This is slowing down a stream entirely on a computer that's entirely on its own with just this on it, which is crazy. That means this site is pulling so much power. I suggest the app, not the website. I'm letting you know right now. I'm letting you know right the fuck now. I suggest the app, not the website. The app's pretty solid though. I give the app a fucking B plus. This website, I give it D minus. Nature's fucking turtle. What is? Am I on the right page yet? Oh lordy, the stats aren't even worth it. You get the point. You get the point. I'm literally done with this page. I'm literally so done with this page. I never want to see it again. It's just so slow, which is the part that's annoying me. You know me, it's fucking 2026. We need speed in this bitch. We need speed. We need speed in that motherfucker. But anyways, yeah. So Frederick Duprat, 9 subs. That's all you need to know. I don't even need to show you stats. If he has 9 wins and 9 by sub, we're going with the Frederick Duprat sub. That's what's happening. It better be fucking plus money too. The books better not fuck me. Better be plus money. I'm not fucking playing. Not fucking playing. That's all. That's the only sub prop I have for PFL Pittsburgh, if I'm being honest with you. I look at the entire rest of this card and I don't see another sub in sight that I'm interested in. Not even one. Not a fucking Eblen sub, not a Pergandi sub, not a Bush sub, not a Dana sub. And Dana has 5 subs and 8 wins, mind you. Okay? Yeah. Pergandi has 3 subs and 7 wins. Cartwright has 6 subs and 13 wins. None of these guys intrigue me with a sub on this card. Not a single one. But Frederick Duprat. So my guy better pull it off. Get 10 for 10 will be sick. 10 for 10 will be sick. So those are all the picks I have for PFL Pittsburgh in the grappling department. But I got some picks for UFC Seattle in the grappling department. Uh-huh. I do. Ooh. That's right. Let's start at the top. Michael Chiesa. Guess what? Look at his record. I don't have to do anything more than make you look at his record. By the way, Nico Price, we just seen him get knocked out. He's literally in our top 10 knockouts of 2026 list. And not getting one, receiving one. Okay, similar in age, similar in size, virtually identical, right? But if you go ahead and look at Michael Chiesa, he has a decision over Corey McGee. Okay, Corey McGee, grappler. Submission over Max Griffin. Submission over Tony Ferguson. Kevin Holland got submitted. At least it was in the grappling department. Submitted by Vicente Luque. Decision with Neil Magny. Decision with Sean Brady. Decision with Chiesa. Okay? That's not what I'm talking about. But recently, as you saw, it was the subs on his record, right? I'm just saying 19-7, 12 submission victories. And 5 of his losses are by sub. He only has 1 TKO loss. So I'm not really leaning on a Price win. Short notice. Price 2-7 with 1 no contest in his last 10. You know, everything's pointed at Chiesa sub. Take this guy down and sub him. Why give him a chance to win this fight on the feet? That's not how he's going to win it. Take him down and sub him. Chiesa sub. Easy as pie. All right. Now, a sub that I'm not keen on. Okay. One that kind of scares me a little bit. Terrence McKinney. Because he could get the TKO. He's the king of the under 1.5. So a sub or a TKO is happening in this fight. But it's a 50-50. Throw the dart at the board with the eyes closed. We don't know what's going to go down. Even he doesn't know what's going to go down. He tells us one thing that's going to happen and does the complete opposite. I mean, he's 17-8, 8 KOs, 9 subs. He's never been to a decision. Has 5 KO losses and 3 sub losses. So when he loses, it's more likely to be a KO. When he wins, it's more likely to be a sub. I'm leaning sub in this fight. I'm going to lean sub in this fight. Sub seems to be the way that he doesn't let his opponents into the fight. When he gets to his grappling game and is able to control the fight, he tends to win the fight more. So I see a McKinney sub on the horizon. I don't know if it'll be in my sub or parlay, a Chiesa sub and a Dupras sub. If I can put it in, will. But I don't know if a McKinney sub will make it in. Maybe if I do a finish parlay instead of a takedown parlay, McKinney can very well find himself in there. McKinney by finish, where fight does not go the distance, that it'll probably be like minus 600. But McKinney finish might be pretty good odds for a double parlay. I don't mind that. You know, we're always rocking with my dog Terrence, so keep in mind that might be an option. And the last one that I'm really considering on this card is Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper, baby. Curly-headed fuck. I mean, how are we not considering our dog? The streets is back. Chase Hooper. Are you kidding me? A little bit of an age gap. He's the taller fighter, the longer fighter. Lots of advantages in his side. Gibson coming off a decision, lost to Bobby King Green, who just got himself a submission win. So maybe Hooper's inclined to get himself a decision. Who knows? Who knows? But he lost to Alexander Hernandez by TKO, got a decision over Jim Miller. Jim Miller, notoriously hard to finish. Got a submission over Clay Guida, though, and a sub over Vladdy Claus. You know, sub over Jordan Leavitt, decision over Nick Fiore. So I'm leaning sub. It's probably going to be a decision. I don't know if it's going to join my sub or parlay. I may keep it simple with a Dupras, Chiesa, McKinney, or maybe a Dupras, Chiesa, Hooper. I don't know, but some 3-part iteration of these are going to be the sub or parlay of the week, especially if we get really good odds on it. Okay. But yeah, so those are all my picks for UFC Seattle, which leads us to what I've just been blabbering about for the last 5 minutes. The double parlay of the week, baby. Like I said, Dupras sub, Dupras 9 wins, every single one by sub. And I would already be on that, but his opponent in 8 of his losses has been subbed 4 times and KO'd 2 times, so finished 6 times in his 8 losses. 4 sub losses, and 3 of them were in round 1. Dupras 7 first round sub wins. Oh, match made in heaven, bro. I'm taking the Dupras sub. It's in the separate parlay if I could take it. That's what's going down. Dupras sub. Ain't nothing else on my brain. It is what it is. All right. Chiesa sub. Short notice fight for Nico Price. Already got knocked out. Maybe they're like, okay, he's not going to get knocked out by this guy. Most likely he gets subbed, so let's throw him in there. Chiesa will provide that. Why give a guy like Nico Price a chance to get back in the fight and win it, throwing big, heavy hands at you? You know he's the better striker. You know he's the heavier puncher. You know he is a shorter gas tank. Drain it. Make him grapple. Fucking drown the motherfucker. Get us that sub, Chiesa. Chiesa sub, leg 2. And then leg 3, I'm not sure if it's going to be Chase Hooper. I'm not sure if it's going to be Terrence McKinney. I'm not sure. One of those two, maybe neither, depending on what odds we get on the first two. If we could even get to Pro Sub. If we can't get to Pro Sub, I might have to throw both of these guys in there and round robin this. I don't know. We'll see what happens. PFL is very late on getting their odds out, their method of victories out. So it all relies on Saturday by, let's say, 3 p.m. But that's the suburb parlay. Fuck, I had dubber up the whole time. That's the suburb parlay of the week. That's the suburb parlay of the week. Dumbass gaff. And the dubber parlay of the week. The dubber parlay of the week. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're going to do takedowns again. We failed 6 times in a row on takedowns. The one time I didn't take takedowns, we would have won that week on the takedowns, but I didn't take takedowns. I took fight does not go the distance. And of course, one of the fights I chose did not go the distance. I mean, went the distance. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't know if we go back to takedowns. I don't know if we do a fight does not go the distance, since we have the king of fights not going the distance on this card, Terrence McKinney. It feels only right to do so. So I can imagine we're going to have a double parlay with that. Maybe a Navajo Sterling bout in there. I feel like he's going to get his first KO. Well, maybe let me keep my cards close for TKO Tuesday. But yeah, that's the double parlay. It's either going to be like a 2 takedown parlay with like Chiesa and McKinney, or it's going to be like, you know, Chiesa by finish, McKinney by finish, and maybe one other person on the card by finish. I can imagine myself doing by finish, right? Mansour Abdul Malik or Tyrell Fortune. No. Well, maybe Sterling. Yeah, well, one of those 3. I don't know. It remains to be seen, but the double parlay coming out. You'll see it on Saturday, okay? And that does it for Hump Day, baby. And we're not done here, guys. We got a whole nother half of this programming to go. So lock the fuck in. It's 5 o'clock. We're an hour in. We got a whole at least another hour to go because we got 2KO Tuesday to go over, bitch. Hump Day is what we do. All right. We do talk about the grapplers on Hump Day, but we also talk about everything we missed throughout the rest of the week on Hump Day. So if we didn't get to do a matchmake on Monday, if we didn't get to do a TKO Tuesday on Tuesday, you can bet your sweet ass you're going to see it on Hump Day. All right. So let's get into it. It is now time for TKO Tuesday on Hump Day. And guess what? If you guys don't already know what we do on TKO Tuesday, we rank the top 10 knockouts in both MMA and boxing, and they each have their own separate lists. We go over them separately, we rank them separately, and we rank them the same way that we rank the grapplings. It's based off main event status, championship ability, how vicious the knockout was, how beautiful it was. If it was a standing one or a flush knockout, TKO versus KO, lots of these things factor in if you're going to be in the top 10. I mean, it's a pristine list of all the knockouts. There's probably like thousands of bouts that happen throughout the year. And all of them, there's only 10 that make this list. So we got to use our criteria very nicely. Okay. And I think we have a good selection this week. I don't think we have anything that's going to blow your hair back, but let's go over it, shall we? And first, we're going to go over our top 10 knockouts in MMA. So let's go over the top 10 knockouts in MMA this year. These are the ones post UFC Vegas 142. Okay. Let me see. A lot of breaks is going for beers back later. Will lurk. All right. And Meat Rocket says McKinley. Lay and pray is so boring. They need to stand them up more if not active. Yeah, that's why a lot of these guys aren't winning. You know, you got to also land some damage. But here are the top 10 knockouts in MMA thus far this year. As follows. Mauricio Hufi in the one spot, defeating Rafael Fiziev via TKO. Melky Costa defeating Dan Ige via spinning kick TKO, round 1, 4 minutes and 56 seconds. Nikolai Varetnikov defeating Nico Price via TKO punches, round 1, 1 minute and 42 seconds. Taylor Lapulus defeating Kasim Kasimov via TKO punches, round 3, 47 seconds. Keiichiro Nakimura defeating Sebastian Zalai via TKO knee to win Road to UFC tournament. Round 3, 3 minutes and 48 seconds. In the 6th spot on Ryzen, Kyoto Akimoto defeats Patchy Mix via TKO punch and soccer kicks. Round 2, 1 minute and 31 seconds. In the 7th spot, Udos Medic defeats Jeff Neal via KO punch. Round 1, 1 minute and 19 seconds. In the 8th spot, our guy, Damian Penis, defeats Wesley Scholes via TKO strikes. 2 minutes and 30 seconds of round 1. In the 9th spot, Sean Strickland defeats Anthony Hernandez via TKO punches, round 3, 2 minutes and 23 seconds. And in the 10th spot, newly added last week, Manuel Souza defeats Bolaji Alki via knockout punch, round 3, 4 minutes and 12 seconds. Those are the top 10 knockouts in MMA thus far this year. Okay. But guess what? We had some more knockouts. There were no submission victories over either of those cards this week. So guess what? There were a number of knockouts. Let's go over them. First, we got UFC London. Penis, says me Rocket. UFC London had a few knockouts. A few. I mean, let's talk about it, shall we? Let's talk about it. Huh? You don't remember? You didn't see? Iwo Barianuski putting hands on Austin Lane, round 1, 28 seconds, heavyweights, turned light heavyweight. You didn't see it? Are you blind, brother? Do you live under a rock, brother? Oh, I got you. You know I got you. It's TKO Tuesday, bitch. You know I got you. Go ahead and check this one out. You know I got you. You know, save him, ref. Save him. You could have saved him from at least 5 more of those punches. My Lord, ref. What were you doing? You getting a snack? Were you looking for the popcorn? What are you doing, ref? It was over from the very first punch. Look how he hit the floor. Look, it's over. Right there, it's over. What is he waiting for? Oh, man. But yeah, Iwo Barianuski getting a nice TKO on the card. One of only 4 knockouts on the card. Not a lot of finishes on the UFC London card, only 4. You know, and every single one of them, I believe, got a bonus, whether it's $25,000 or $100,000. They all got a bonus. But shout out to Iwo getting a big win, taking out Austin Lane. Austin Lane, I don't know if he's going to be a UFC veteran anymore, but less than 30 seconds almost certainly ensures that you won't be, especially when you've been knocked out 6 times and your only win is over somebody that isn't in the UFC and is fighting on a Netflix card upcoming. I don't think they'd like to keep you around anymore, my friend. But let's talk about Danny Silva. He defeats Curtis Campbell via TKO punches. Round 2, 31 seconds. Danny Silva. Shout out to Danny Segura. He called it early. But let's take a look what he did to this young man, Pink Panther, Curtis Campbell. Oh, hurt him. Hurt him with that and then just unleashed some lefts until some hooks came back and continuously dropped him until the ref mercilessly steps in. Because that would have just got worse. That absolutely would have just got worse. I mean, Curtis Campbell was taking a fucking look at it. One time he gets dropped, comes back up. Basically, the second time gets dropped, gets back up. Third time gets dropped and was about to get back up until the ref was like, yeah, I think 3 knockdown rule should be good here. I think the 3 knockdown rule applies here. All right. Shout out to Danny Silva. Got himself a beautiful TKO win. He's not the only TKO win, though. Okay. Shout out to the heavyweights also getting a knockout. Brando Pericic gets a big TKO win over Louis Sutherland. All right, round 1, 1 minute and 48 seconds. Look at this, just turns him around and wails on him. Don't ever let another human being get me in that position. My Lord. Literally turned me around and had me ducking and covering like he was a fucking missile or a bomb. No way, brother. Get me out of here. I'm not doing this for a living. No fucking way. Get out of here. No. And the last knockout we'll talk about on UFC London. Chanel Dyer defeats Ravina Oliveira via TKO head kick, round 2, 1 minute and 17 seconds. Repping for the ladies. Oh, yeah. Chanel Dyer, we gave you her as a pick. We told you she's coming over from the PFL and the Bellator. And we told you she was a fucking hammer. And if you listened, you cashed on her getting that TKO win. Because look at this. She had this girl literally with her hands up calling for help. She had her with her hands up calling for help, people. That's how bad that she was whooping on Ravina Oliveira. Look at that knee. Another one for good measure. Tosses her down. Punches while she's on her butt. I mean, come on. What more do you want from this TKO Tuesday on a Wednesday? Mommy says it's Wednesday. See, I told you women's MMA is the shit. Yes, it is, especially when Chanel Dyer is fighting on the card. You absolutely know she's a one more round fighter. She's been on one more round tickets since the PFL, and she continues to be on our tickets. She was just priced way too high on this card at a minus 675, so we couldn't throw her on in good faith, but she'll get a good opponent next, and hopefully that line comes down. So shout out to Chanel Dyer. Oh, yeah, that's our girl. That's our girl. And those are all the knockouts from UFC London, baby. All right. But those are not all the knockouts. And maybe one of those deserves to join the top 10. Maybe not. I don't know what you think. We still got 5 more knockouts to show. Because guess what? We have PFL Madrid. Yeah. We have PFL Madrid. And we showed it already. We might as well get you familiar if you haven't. But yeah, you guessed it. It's the Costello Van Steenis and the Fabian Edwards KO. I mean, if it's not joining the top 10 grapplers list, it might be joining the top 10 knockouts list, no? No? You don't think it deserves to? Like, look at this artistry. And you saw the closer version when his body jumps and goes limp. You've seen it. It's got enough style points. It's got enough style points to join that top 10, in my opinion. You may not think so, but I do. Especially since, keep in mind, this was for a middleweight championship. Keep in mind, this was a rematch in which it was a very close split decision. There's a lot of factors that play into this. Okay? So keep that in mind. A TKO that we should talk about, Franco Tenaglia defeats Nassim Najee, TKO injury. We did talk about that in the grapplers matchup as well. But yeah, that was a TKO win. It should be mentioned. But the knockout that we need to talk about, another lady. The ladies took over this weekend in terms of prospects. In terms of prospects, the ladies took over the weekend without a shadow of a doubt. Shout out to our girl, Jacinta Austin. What? I didn't know you ladies were bumping like that over in the PFL. I didn't know it was bumping like that. This knockout was fun, taking out Benita Van Roy. What? What, girlfriend? Come again? This was 2 minutes and 40 seconds of round 1. Look at her just lay down those fists on her and forces the referee to step in. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that excitement. Shout out to Jacinta Austin, man. Look at that joy. She's crying. She's so excited. Just changed her life with that. Mind you, this is a strawweight. This is not a weight class that that has a lot of talent in the PFL. So she kind of needed a performance like that to keep her around. So shout out to Jacinta Austin. Also, we already showed this one, but you already know it. It was the TKO victory for Linton Vassell over the weekend. If you didn't see it already, well, you're about to see it now, bitch. All right. Yep. Gets him ground and pound, full mount, just wails on him. The referee's already close, got a good eye on it. And once he lands another couple elbows, he says, that's enough. That's enough. So Linton Vassell with a big TKO win, possibly setting himself up for a title shot. We'll see what happens. Who knows? But there's two more knockouts that we need to talk about. One was absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Gorgeous enough that I almost absolutely believe that it needs to join our top 10. And if it doesn't, I would almost consider this a travesty. If Bolajiaki's knockout joined the top 10, this one has to join the top 10. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the bantamweight. That's right. A bantamweight got a knockout. And his name is Luciano Pereira. He defeats Kevin Cordero via KO punches. Round 1, by the way, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Guys, look at this beaut. Oh, the right hand landed so hard. He had him falling over like a cartoon character. And when he hit the mat, he greeted him with another couple shots and put him out completely. He only woke up because he stopped hitting him. Yeah. Luciano Pereira. Welcome to the top 10, brother. Welcome. Wow. What a knockout. And that wasn't the only knockout. This one was gorgeous too. I don't know if it gets to join our top 10. But Gino Van Steenis, the brother of Costello Van Steenis, got a beautiful KO over Mark Ewan in the very firsters. Peep this. Look at this. Oh, that right hand. Now, he didn't put him out completely, but that right hand was gorgeous. Had him falling like a ton of bricks. Oh, we got to watch that again. And I don't want to watch any more celebrations. I want to get right to the freaking knockout again. Look at this thing. Oh, if the ref's big stupid head wasn't in the way, it would have looked so perfect. Points off. Points off. But damn, that was nice. Shout out to Gino Van Steenis. Very close to joining our top 10, if I'm being honest. Very, very close. But those are all the knockouts that I have for you guys from PFL Pittsburgh. PFL Madrid. I said PFL Pittsburgh. That's what we're going over next. That's where we're going over next, bitch. All right. But yeah, so those are all the knockouts, which leads us to this. We have to figure out what the best knockouts in MMA were this year after seeing all those. Now, I still believe in Ravina Oliveira's meat rocket, Costello Van Penis. And then how are we living, gentlemen? Wheels Up says, we're living great, baby. We just seen all the grappling performances. We're halfway through our knockout performances, and we still got to look at the boxing ones as well. And then that was an early stoppage, says Meat Rocket. Let's look at the top 10 knockouts and our new top 10 knockouts for MMA in this 2026 following UFC London and PFL Madrid. And we have two new entries in the 9 and 10 spot, both from the same PFL Madrid card. We have Costello Van Steenis and Luciano Pereira joining at the 9 and 10 spot, respectively, knocking off both Sean Strickland and Bolaji Aki, getting knocked out by whoever you got knocked out by. It is what it is. Anyways, Costello Van Steenis defeats Fabian Edwards via KO elbows, round 3. That joins us in the 9 spot. And in the 10 spot, Luciano Pereira defeats Kevin Cordero via KO punches, round 1, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. 2 entries from the same damn card. Damn. You love to see it. And those are the top 10 knockouts in MMA this 2026 that I have for you guys. If you agree, disagree, don't be afraid to let me know in the comments, tweet at me, whatever you got to do to let me know who should be in there and who shouldn't. Okay. But those are all the knockouts in MMA. And we're not done here, people. We still have to look at the top 10 knockouts in boxing. Yeah, we do. Let's look at them. The list is as follows. Brandon Figueroa defeats Nick Ball via 12th round KO in the 1 spot. In the 2 spot, Bruce Carrington defeats Carlos Castro via 9th round KO. In the 3 spot, Dalton Smith defeats Subriel Matias via 5th round KO. In the 4 spot, Lorenzo Parra defeats Elijah Pierce via 2nd round KO. In the 5 spot, Bektamur Melikuzia defeats Senak Becca via 7th round KO. In the 6th spot, Keyshawn Davis defeats Jermaine Ortiz via 12th round KO. In the 7th spot, Stephen Butler defeats Ramadan Hassani via 2nd round KO. In the 8th spot, Muhammad Alakel defeats David Calabro via 2nd round KO. In the 9th spot, Brandon Poular defeats Charles Scott Jr. via 1st round TKO. And in the 9th spot, holding it down for the ladies, Jay Jones defeats Egypt Chris via 2nd round face plant KO. And those are the top 10 boxing knockouts in 2026 so far. We had a couple of boxing cards that happened. You guys might have missed it. You might have seen it. Don't worry, I'm here to refresh you. And the first card is Carlos Adames and Austin Williams. Now, there was surprisingly only one KO on this card worthy of talking about. And I think you know what weight class would bring it. I think you know. That's right. It's the heavyweights. The heavyweights brought it. They brought it on this Carlos Adames and Austin Williams card. At heavyweight, Teramoana defeats Curtis Harper via, bitch, you guessed it, 1st round KO. Heavyweights, baby. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. If you haven't seen it, don't worry. I am your jester for KOs and grappling. Allow me to show you myself. Look at this. Oh, man. Look at this right hand. Oh. Had him praising Jesus and the Holy Cross. My Lord. Look at this picture. Perfection. Whoa, 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 whoa. What a big right hand. The way he fell. Tim Burr, baby. Tim Burr. Oh, man. What a knockout. And surprisingly, the only knockout from the card that we have to talk about, but might have been the best knockout in boxing of the weekend. And I don't even know if it joins our top 10. We have some nice top 10 knockouts. We have some nice top 10 knockouts in boxing so far. And a lot of these were for better stakes than this. All right. For higher stakes than this, I just gotta say, Curtis Harper. I'm just saying, keep that in mind when we're looking at this top 10 later. All right. Pittsburgh is the Madrid of the East. Speaking of boxing, Kevin Walsh, who just beat Michael Conlan last Friday, is local to my area. I didn't know that, Genghis Bong. Shout out to you. Shout out to Kevin Walsh. Remember I called him winning? Remember that? And everybody's like, what? Nah, Michael Conlan's going to win. I called Kevin Walsh winning. That's right. I thought it was going to be a KO, but still got the decision. Adames fight was sick. That was a sick fight. I wish I had some highlights to show from it, but I don't, because it wasn't a KO performance, and that's what we do here. So, you know. And then Genghis Bong says Jason Momoa can box. Wow. Hammy in the house. He says, sup, boys? What up? Yeah, so that was the lone KO from the Carlos Adames, Austin Williams main card, you know. But that's not the only KOs that happen. Oh, baby. Because this card provided some KOs, baby. Michael Conlan versus Kevin Walsh. This card had some KOs. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Let's start at the top. 4 KOs to be exact. But let's look at every single one of them in totality. Niall Brown defeats Darren Johnstone via TKO round 3. 44 segundos. Okay. go ahead and take a look at this. Now, this is a longer clip, so I'm going to have to fast forward a little bit for us. We're not going to sit through the whole 2 minutes of this here, John Bit. But he does knock him out multiple times, so I will do my best in an attempt to fast forward through this clip as long as it takes to load. Come on, baby. Come on. You got it. I believe in you. Come on. You got this. Nice and slow. Nice and slow, laptop. There it is. All right. I guess I'm not fast forwarding this shit, huh? Oh, it's only 40 seconds. That's fine. Check this out. Oh, it doesn't look as shitty on my screen. All right, drops him. Gets the count. This would be the end of the fight, though. Makes him come forward. Why does it look so shitty? Doesn't look like that on the laptop right now. Huh. Interesting. But yeah, then he steps in. That was the Nile Brown TKO. I'm not going to show it again. I'm going to refresh this page. So maybe that's what's happening there. You know what? I'm going to share an entirely new window. Maybe that window's just gummed up. I can imagine. Okay. Thanks to fucking SofaScore, whatever the fuck that was doing. All right. It's moving a little bit better here. We try to share this screen instead. Huh. But anyways, that was the first knockout that we seen from that card. But there's more knockouts to talk about, gang. 3 more knockouts to be exact. Let's talk about them, shall we? Second, Cody Smith defeats Lee Gormley via TKO round 1. 1 minute and 54 seconds. Peep this for me. Appease me, if you will. Yo, what the fuck is going? Oh, I didn't add it to the stage. Oh, no. I guess this is just shitty. I guess it's just shitty today. What the fuck is going on? It's like, no, we did. Okay, here we go. Lee Gormley, Cody Smith. Hopefully it looks smooth. It could probably look like shit. It's looking like shit, isn't it? Well, he drops him. It was a quick one. He gets back up. Referee gives him a count, puts him in the corner, checks his waist strap, and then lets him back in there. And then he stupidly gets dropped again with another beautiful combo. Oh, man, I'm not going to. You know what? I'm not going to show it, but I'm going to talk about these last 2 and just not show them just because it's there's no point in showing stop action animation. It's fucking stupid. But here we go. So that Jack Corey defeats Jacob Quinn by KO round 2, 2 minutes and 38 seconds. And then Ben Marksby defeats Carlos Daniel Cordoba by retirement at the end of round 4. He goes back into the corner and just doesn't seem to want to come out for the rest of the bout. So that's how he gets his TKO there. And those were the rest of the TKOs on Michael Conlan, Kevin Walsh. I don't think any of these KOs deserve to join our top 10 list, which is why I kind of just punted on showing them. None of them really deserve to join the list anyways. But there were KOs, and they were some of the only KOs that happened over the weekend in boxing, so they should be mentioned. Shout out to Nile Brown. Shout out to Cody Smith. Shout out to Jack Corey, and shout out to Ben Marksby. All 4 of those gentlemen getting a win on Michael Conlan versus Kevin Walsh. And shout out to Kevin Walsh getting a huge win over Michael Conlan as well. Huge win, man. But so that leads us to go over the best knockouts in boxing, doesn't it? Well, guys, guess what? No shakeup this week. Looking at the knockouts that were presented to us in boxing, I looked and presented the list, and still no movement. Still Brandon Figueroa holding down the 1 spot, Carrington in the 2 spot, Dalton Smith in the 3, Lorenzo Parra in the 4, Bektir Melikuziev in the 5, Keyshawn Davis in the 6, Stephen Butler in the 7, Muhammad Alakel in the 8 spot, Brandon Poulard in the 9 spot, and Jay Jones holding it down for the ladies in the 10 spot. And those were our top 10 knockouts in boxing for 2026. Okay. Sorry, the last couple knockouts were so choppy and broken. I don't know what happened with this machine, and I'm not restarting it and making you guys wait to show two shitty knockouts that aren't joining our top 10 list, anyways. So, not shitty, but you guys know what I mean. So, yeah. So, those are the top 10 knockouts I have in boxing and MMA for 2026. I hope you guys enjoyed the list. And guess what? We have a whole slate of cards, both MMA and boxing, to talk about more knockouts that might happen this week, guys. So, first, we did MMA knockouts. Let's talk about our MMA possible knockouts. It is. I don't know why the fuck my that was weird. Like everything slowed down for a second. But I don't know why the Nets just got weird on me. It is what it is. Let's go over our PFL Pittsburgh knockouts, bitch. I mean, there's a few that we need to talk about. The first knockout that I want to talk about is the Dalton Roston and Pakistan fight. Now, both of these guys were hurt pretty well in their recent fights. Keep that in mind. That's number one. That's the first thing I want to present to you when talking about this fight can possibly end in knockout. Okay. Second thing, Dalton Roston was knocked the fuck out by Fabian Edwards in his last fight. Like bad. Like bad. Okay. And Impa Kasanganay, 19-6, knocked out 4 times in those 6 losses. So that's a lot of knockouts. I'm just saying. Even though Dalton Ross only has 4 knockouts and 11 wins, a ground and pound, because he's so dominant with his wrestling, is entirely possible. So a knockout would happen there. And but Kasanganay, we've seen him hurt many a time against many opponents. So it could happen there. It wouldn't look too crazy taking fight and knockout in that bout. All right, it ended up working out for us in the Costello Van Steenis and Fabian Edwards fight. It could possibly work out here as well. Just saying. Sumiko Inaba TKO is something I would consider, guys. I know it's a lady fight. All right. Didn't I just give you guys Chanel Dyer? Shut your mouth and listen to me. Okay. She's 8-2, 4 KOs. That means half of her wins are by KO. Now, we'd probably be more inclined to think that her next fight would be a decision. She did go to decision with Dakota Ditcheva. All right. Yeah. Only has 1 sub in her career, and she's never been finished. Yes. But keep this in mind. Ariane Delipsky de Silva did whatever the fuck is 17-11, 6 KOs, 4 subs. So more than half of her wins are by finish. Sumiko Inaba has never been finished. Not a lot of her wins are by decision. So she kind of has to look dominant to win this, which I don't think she'll do against a girl like Sumiko Inaba. So that's one thing. Keep in mind, she's been finished 5 times. She's been knocked out 4 times, subbed once. I know she has 6 decision losses, but keep in mind, she's on a 3-fight losing streak. Okay. And she's been knocked out 4 times. That Sumiko Inaba TKO is a prop that I'll be absolutely looking at as a single. Won't be joining any of my TKO parlays. Won't be doing anything crazy parlay wise. But Sumiko Inaba TKO, if you give me +3, +4, +5, +6, +7, +8, if we're getting crazy with it, if you're giving me those odds, brother, put that shit in the bag. Put the fries in the bag. All right. All right. I need that. Another knockout you should consider, just because this guy is so young in his career, he's facing a true vet. Julio Arce is taking on Alexi Pergandi. Alexi Pergandi doesn't have a TKO on his fucking record. I don't think he's ever even dropped anyone. All right. Julio Arce has a TKO win in 2 of his last 3 wins. You heard me correctly. 2 of his last 3. Oh, fuck. I forgot to put the chat back in. My bad, chat. That's on me. Julio has 2 of his last 3 wins by TKO. What? What? Of his 21 wins, he has 7 KOs and 5 subs. So more than half of his wins are by finish. Why would we not be rocking with him? Huh? Oh, shit. Chat's been popping off. Genghis Bonk gaff with the LT Wi-Fi. And then Octopus, do you remember me from Meat Rocket? Genghis Bonk says, sup, Octo. Who the fuck is this guy? This is Cosmo Kramer. Hammy says, Senor Pupo, hola. And then Cosmo Kramer coming through with the gifted membership. My guy. Opening up the one more round world to somebody's eyes. What a good Samaritan you are, sir. I appreciate you so much for giving up this membership and letting someone have a fantastic life. All right. The membership goes to Cosmo Kramer. Cosmo Kramer. Wait, sorry. It goes to Kershaw's Voltage Law. He gets the membership from Cosmo Kramer. Kershaw's Voltage Law. Welcome to the family. Me Rocket says, Senor Cojete de Carne. And Genghis Bong says, Octopus at Octopus No Friends. Kevin Walsh is from the South Shore of Massachusetts. All right. This is from the same city as Rocky Marciano. And then Me Rocket says, I wish I was a member. Genghis says, Gaff froze. Oh, I didn't know that. Genghis pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't even know until a few days after the fight. LOL. And I watched it. Christian L comes through with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Christian L. I appreciate you, brother. Your shirt is on the way. Your merch is on the way. It is in the mail. I think it's set to arrive in 2 days. So you should get it by Friday. You should get it by our watch along stream. You should get it by the time we're doing CP units on Friday. So hopefully you enjoy that. I hope Kasanganai wins. He's got a cooler name. Shout out to Christian L. Thank you, brother. And then Genghis Bonk says, yes, Chef Alexi Pergandi is my brethren, says Me Rocket. And then Octopus says, I'm at my son's robotics competition. Allow me to be your entertainment while you're there. All right, allow me to be your entertainment. I'll do what I can to keep this moving for you. Yeah. All right, yeah. So PFL Pittsburgh, where did I leave off last? Oh, Arce, yeah. So that's possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm just saying that's something to keep an eye on because if he does win, it's a possible TKO. You can hurt him with something big. Okay. A TKO I think is happening. A TKO that might end up joining my clubber parlay. Dayron TKO. You guys know I'm on Dayron. All right. You guys know I was with him on the Danny Sabatello fight. It ended up in a draw. We almost made some money on that. It is what it is. But yeah. And then the very next fight, he TKOs Bryce Meredith. And I told y'all, motherfuckers started to not believe, but he got y'all. And now he's got a high-profile matchup against Thrall. Just kidding. Thrall coming in here. He's on a 5-fight win streak, but he's been TKO'd twice in his career. Dayron's 9-0-1, 4 KOs, 1 sub, and he last TKO'd Bryce Meredith. I expect him to continue that momentum. Dayron TKO, baby. And last but not least, I'm going with my boy Masayuki Kikiori. He fought Logan Storley in his last bout, made a great showing of himself, even in a loss. He has 11 wins. 8 of his wins are by KO, so that should be noted. That's our guy. Half of his losses are by TKO as well, so fight and TKO is possible as well if you're a little scared. But yeah, those are all my picks. Yeah, those are all my picks on PFL Pittsburgh. Okay. PFL Pittsburgh. And we also got to give picks for UFC Seattle. We got to do it. We got to do it, gang. So let's do it, shall we? PFL Pittsburgh. Wait, sorry. UFC Seattle. I'm like, wait, what? I was looking at PFL Pittsburgh. That's why. Adesanya versus Pyfer can very well end in TKO, gang. I know. Whether you like Pyfer, whether you like Adesanya, it could very well end in TKO. Keep in mind that with power punchers, Adesanya seems to have a little bit of an issue. Okay. Now, we wouldn't consider him a power puncher, but he displayed power punch ability in that fight. So we had to consider that as power punch tactics. And guess what? He got the TKO victory. We already know about the Poton TKO. Okay. We know when he gets a power puncher in front of him, he has a boring fight in front of him. We've seen it with the Yoel Romero fight. seen it many a time. Okay, now keep in mind that Pyfer's 15-3, 9 KOs. That's about 60% of his wins. Okay. And he's lost every single way, though. He is on a 3-fight win streak with 2 of them being by finish, 1 by TKO, 1 by sub, 1 by decision. All right, Adesanya, 24-5, 16 KOs. Lots, 25 KOs between these boys. All right. He's been KO'd twice. He's lost every single way as well. But the thing here is he's 1-4 in his last 5 fights, and he's been finished in 3 of those fights. 1 sub, 2 TKOs. All right. Now, a lot of people probably on that Pyfer TKO. I'm more inclined to be on that Izzy TKO, but fight and TKO is absolutely a prop that I'll be looking at. A boring decision is also possible as well, I know. I don't think it's going to enter my clubber parlay, but something I'll be looking at if the odds are right. Now, a knockout that I will be looking at, Mansour Abdul Malik. Okay. Now, this one we gotta look at the chart for this shit, Bubba. We chart for this shit, Bubba. Let me go ahead and share this shit up, Bubba. This has to happen. Because we gotta look at my man Mansour Abdul Malik. We just have to. Oh man, maybe it's the sharing. Every time I share, this shit goes fucking wonky. Yeah, because I'm sharing, it's all slow. Anyways. All right. Look at this. Appease me for a second here. All right. Let's go and look at Julian Erosa, Larry, and Douglas can end in KO too. That's absolutely possible. But Mansour Abdul Malik, Yusri Balazuri. Now, Balazuri's never been finished. He is also 6'5", pretty big. Similar reach, so not too many advantages. But the reason I choose Mansour Abdul Malik is right here. Strictly looking at my guy. Where do we want to go? UFC stats. Look at those wins. Sub, TKO. Lots of finishes. It's real tough for some guys to make it to a decision with our guy, Mansour Abdul Malik. Even if they, get a draw out of it, that fight still didn't reach the distance. It still didn't elapse 15 minutes, people. So I'm just saying, Mansour Abdul Malik TKO is entirely possible. This guy, Balazuri, I believe he was hurt in his last fight. Was he not? I vaguely remember him being pretty hurt in his last fight. All right, he's only 9-3, 7 KOs himself. Never been finished, but he was hurt. Fight and KO is not a bad prop here too. But I like my boy Mansour Abdul Malik TKO. And low-key, I like a Tyrell Fortune TKO too. I see him coming into the UFC. This is his first bout. He's from Bellator and the PFL. He is 35. Tybura is 40. So, a little bit of an age gap. Fortune 17-3, 11 KOs. All right. Keep in mind, Tybura is 27-10, 6 KO losses. 6 KO. Most of the time when he loses by finish, it's by KO. All right. And if that's not enough to convince you, Fortune won his last 3 fights by KO. His last 3 fights. And I think they were all round winners too. So, yeah. Fortune KO, I'm absolutely looking at on UFC Seattle. Might be in my clubber parlay. It might be Mansour Abdul Malik and Fortune and Sterling. And maybe one. I don't know, man. I'm thinking about it. And last, like I just said, Sterling TKO. His opponent, Lopez, is 14-2, 6 KOs, 5 subs. But guess what? Both his losses by TKO. He last got TKO'd by Jacob in round 1. What the hell? Anyways, Sterling is 8-0, 4 KOs, and he's looking for his first UFC KO. This guy came into the UFC, I believe, 4 wins, 4 by KO, and hasn't gotten a KO since. This is the opponent the UFC is giving him to get his KO. Okay? This is a Sterling KO.
I'm calling that right now. The one more round guarantee. Sterling TKO. He's in the clubber parlay for sure. And those are all the picks I have on UFC Seattle. All right. But that's not all, guys. We got some boxing cards. We got Sebastian Fundora and Keith Thurman. All right. We got that too. I got a Fundora TKO 6 through 12. And if he doesn't get it in those, obviously, if he doesn't get it, it's going to be a decision. But yeah, I like a Fundora late KO. Keith Thurman a little on the older end. Fundora long, and he seems to get stronger and grows faster as this fight goes on. It's tough, man. 23 wins, 14 KOs. His only loss was a KO as well. Okay, and he's gotten a KO in 2 of his last 3. Usually gets him in rounds 1 through 9. All right, which is why I'm going through a 6 through 12. Okay, and then yeah, Keith Thurman, 31 wins, 23 of them by KO. His lone loss was a decision, so he's never been finished. 4 of his last 5 wins are by decision, though. So if he wins, it'll be by decision. So I'm seeing a Fundora TKO late or a decision. All right. And in the Torres, I don't see any other TKOs here. The Torres fight, he's going against Frank Sanchez. Frank Sanchez tough. He has been knocked out by Caballero, so probably a Torres KO in 1 through 6 or something like that. But I see a Torres decision. I see a Hernandez TKO. He has 9 wins. 8 are by KO. He's an undefeated Cuban. Terrell Gaucher, 24 wins, 12 by KO. He's never been KO'd, but in his last fight, I believe he was hurt pretty badly. And he's old, man. He's like 38 going up against a killer. I'm going with that Hernandez TKO. I am. I don't know if it's going to my clubber parlay or anything, but yeah. Hernandez is 3 inches taller. He's longer. He's faster. He's stronger. Also, he's younger. He's not fucking 38. So, yeah. Those are my picks on the Fundora versus Keith Thurman card. And last but not least, Moses Itauma and Jermaine Franklin Jr. I got Itauma TKO 1 through 6 or a decision. If he doesn't get the TKO early, this goes the distance. He has 13 wins, 11 by KO. He's undefeated. He's gotten knockout in his last 9 fights, and they've all been in round 1 or 2. He's on a 9-fight knockout streak. All right. That's some shit right there. Now, Franklin, 24 wins, 15 by knockout. All his losses are by decision. He's never been knocked out. He's never even been knocked down. Okay. So this should be interesting. That's why I'm like, if Itauma's power is really there, he gets him out 1 through 6. If it's not, it's a decision. All right. I see Taylor getting a decision on this card. Hutchinson has 19 wins, 14 by KO, has lost either way once. He was last KO'd in 2021. He's lost 5 of his last 6 by TKO, though. Okay. And then Taylor, 13 wins, 9 by KO. He's undefeated. I still think it'll be a Taylor decision. Guy hasn't been knocked down in a while. And Davies, 17 wins by KO. His lone loss was a decision. 3 of his last 4 wins are by KO. Miller has 17 wins, only 3 KOs. I'm going with a Davies decision. So those are all my picks on the Moses Itauma and Jermaine Franklin card. Now, that being said, I give you guys all my picks. It's time to produce that clubber parlay of the week, baby. Oh, yeah. You already know I got that Sterling TKO as the gold star at the top of that that clubber parlay. That's there. Oh, that's there. All right. Now, I probably won't be able to get a Dayrin or a Kikiori TKO, so I'm kind of avoiding any PFL TKOs at the moment because I'm not sure if I'll even get them. Let's be honest with ourselves. I'm not even sure they'll even drop by then. And Dayrin's the first fight on the main card. We may not even get it for that fight. So, being realistic, I have to shift my focus towards the UFC and boxing, which means Sterling TKO, absolutely. I'm considering a Fortune KO or an Abdul Malik TKO. I'm considering both of them. I have to see the odds on both to really make a true decision on it. Let me take a quick peek right now just to see where my head might lean. Damn, it's already 6 o'clock. Sports, come on. Where is it? UFC. Oh, we have some odds dropping. Some odds are dropping. And let's see. Tyrell Fortune KO is sitting at plus 130. Not the juiciest. Not the juiciest. And Medsur Abdul Malik's TKO sitting at plus 225. You boys know where I'm leaning. You boys know where I'm leaning. Let's see where the Navajo Sterling KO is leaning. Come on, come on. Fuck. Minus 175 Navajo Sterling TKO. That's going to make me take decision at plus 320. When the guys won all of his UFC fights by decision at plus 320, I'll be taking as a Ailey doing weird shit in the background. This fucking dog. It made me lose my train of thought, bro. What the fuck? Fuck you, Ailey, dickhead. Just back there being a fucking jackass. What was I even talking about, bro? He literally fucking derailed my train. Just absolutely derailed my train of thought. This dog. Oh man, this fucking cute little pup. This fucking guy, bro. Derailed my train of thought. But anyways. No, down. Ailey down. Fucking guy. All right. Oh, we were on TKOs, right? Club with Parlay of the week. So yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be Tyrell Fortune, Mansour Abdul Malik, probably Mansour Abdul Malik because of the odds. Navajo Sterling at minus 175 is making me not want to add it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's gonna stay in at those odds. That's crazy. Almost minus 200. It's crazy. It's likely, but crazy. So I don't know. I need value. It might drop out. And I've seen PFL has some odds, but I doubt they have method of victories. They haven't had it in quite some time on DraftKings, especially this early. Yeah, they don't have it yet. So yeah, but I would tend to lean Dayrin or Kikiuri if I'm doing a TKO on that card. But the Fundora TKO, bro. Fundora TKO might be pretty good odds. Let me take a look at boxing. They usually have these out pretty early. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything. Just money lines right now. Oh, I see Davies, Taylor. So the Moses fight, his knockout sitting at minus 320. So we won't be looking at that. Moving on. Kevin Gallegos. Elijah Garcia rematch with Kevin Newman. Yoenli Hernandez, Terrell Gaucher. They don't have it out yet for that. Let's see. What else? Oh, and Fundora. Here we go. Fundora by TKO is minus 125. So possibly, I don't know. Fundora TKO minus 125. Yoenli Hernandez TKO hasn't dropped yet. Itauma TKO minus 325 or 375. I forget what I said. So Club Parlay of the week will be some iteration of all the knockouts we just mentioned. I will be dropping it on the one more round fights. Instagram, X, all that shit. All right. So look out for the Club Parlay. All right. And that's it, guys. That's the entire show. That was almost 2 hours. I gave you guys all the grapplers. I gave you guys all the knockouts, both MMA and boxing. We went over a little bit of MMA news. We got to chop it up in the chat. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, man, because I don't do this shit for nothing. All right. So if you can please be so kindly, don't forget to tune in. All right. We have other programs that we do throughout the week. We have Monday Matchmaker on Mondays, Matchmaker Monday. We have TKO Tuesday. We got Hump Day. You just seen it. All right. We got CP units on Fridays. We do watch alongs on Saturdays. We do live chats on Sundays, and we repeat the cycle over and over and over again. If you're not liking, if you're not subscribing, what are you doing, man? Do you hate me? What did I do to you?
What did I do to you? I didn't do nothing to you. All right. Joe Pyfer just found Jesus, I heard. This is Cosmo. Cosmo. Oh, no. Oh, no. Gaff beat Joe Pyfer. Nice. Thanks for the update, bro. Did he really find Jesus? I haven't listened to his interviews in a while. Go for Jesus. Go for Jesus. No forget Jesus. Yeah, listen to his full send interview. It's hilarious. He literally posted a cop meme with Izzy being arrested by him a couple months ago. Yeah, I don't want Izzy to win, but this weekend I do. And the aioli emojis, the Dakota emojis, one more round emojis, aioli's in the chat. Fundora is just too short for that weight class. Stop. The dog days of MMA. Hopefully Eugene Behrman tells Izzy to beat Joe Pyfer so he can beat Joe Pyfer. And then Meat Rocket hates Hammy every day. I can't wait for PFL CP units. I wish there was a way to do PFL CP units. I truly do, gang. I really do. But again, if you like the channel, if you like everything we're doing here, please subscribe. Scan the QR code right there. It'll subscribe you to the channel, y'all. YouTube, help us grow. We're trying to get it to 800. We have a clear goal. What are you doing trying to stop us from getting there? Be a good guy. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. All right, share, like, subscribe, like the video below. If you were watching, if you enjoyed this stream, I seen 10 people watching. There should at least be 10 likes on the video. Like the video below, gang. Don't be cheap with it. Don't be stingy. Let them go. Let them fly. Again, we have merch. If you like the merch that we put out on this channel, please don't forget to get it. You see the link right there. It's in the description below the video. If you're like, oh man, that's too many things, just copy and paste it from the link. From the description. It's down below. All right. Very easy to find. Clubber, subber, dubber tees. You get your stickers, your pins. I actually have to put an option for just the stickers and pins on there. My bad, gang. I'll do that later tonight. Let me add that to my list. If you just want stickers and pins and not the shirt. Yeah. Yeah. So one more round shop. You see it. You see the vibes. You see the shirts. You see them. Yeah, they're as is. I got them right there. You see me? I was wearing them last stream, bitch. All right. And don't forget to follow on social. That's where we will put out the parlays. Fuck you, Elon, for making my ex one more round F8. You're a little bitch. But anyways, one more round fights everywhere. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to like the videos. Don't forget to follow on social. Don't forget to do all that. Share with a friend that you want to make their life better. Because if you subscribe to One More Round Fights, I guarantee the very second your mouse pointer clicks that subscribe, your life will get better. You'll probably find a $20 bill and some jeans you haven't worn in a while. A friend will hit you up that hasn't in a while. You probably go out, get some drinks, have a fucking blast. Life will get better. I promise you. Subscribe to One More Round Fights. I appreciate everybody that pulled up to the chat. Every single one of you pulling up for this hump day, pulling up for the things we didn't get on TKO Tuesday. We did the whole slate of the week. I will take my Thursday break like usual. Hopefully I can have another video for you guys tomorrow. If not, I will have it next week. We have CP units on Friday. Don't forget, Joe Pyfer, Israel Adesanya. We need to simulate that. All right. And last but not least, appreciate every single one of you in the chat. Appreciate Christian L for the donation. Appreciate Cosmo Kramer for the membership. Appreciate every single one of you guys in the chat. Meat Rocket, Genghis Bong, Wheels Up, Hammy, Octopus and No Friends, Cosmo, Lazy Bed, Christian L, Hammy, 242, Octopus. I think I'm saying the same names over again. Wheels Up. Everybody, I appreciate Mommy. A lot of breaks. Everybody, I appreciate everybody that pulls up to the chat. You guys are why I keep doing it. I'll see you guys on Friday. I'm out.
Set the high, never mind, you know, cause I have free.